Thank you for joining the JAF on Tech podcast series. And this is where we talk about technology, artificial intelligence, policy, and the implications of the ever-changing world of information security. If you can leave a comment, a like, or subscribe, it would mean the world to us, especially the humans.
All right, so we're diving into AI and cloud security today, which seems like everyone's talking about these days.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things, everyone's talking about it, but not everyone really gets what it means, you know?
Exactly, and you've sent over some research on this that is fascinating, really makes you think, and
Hopefully.
I mean, when we hear AI and cloud security, we tend to think, oh, AI, it's going to make everything safer, right? But it seems like it's a lot more complicated than that.
It is, yeah, it's definitely more complicated. I mean, it's not just a matter of like adding AI and everything's magically secure. It's really more like AI is changing the whole game of security, you know? It's like it can be used to make things more secure, but it also introduces new challenges and risks.
Like it's playing both sides.
Yeah, exactly. It's like AI is playing both offense and defense in this whole cloud security game, and we're just starting to figure out the rules.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit. First, can you just set the scene for us? What happens when these two massive trends, cloud computing and AI, collide?
Well, think about it this way. You've got cloud computing, which is all about these massive data centers, tons of processing power, storage, all that. And then you've got AI, which needs that kind of scale to really work its magic, right? Like AI algorithms need to be trained on huge amounts of data, and they need a lot of computing power to run those algorithms.
So they need each other.
Yeah, exactly. They're like a
Yeah.
perfect match, a power couple. The cloud gives AI the resources it needs, and AI makes the cloud smarter and more efficient.
Like AI steps in and suddenly the cloud has its act together.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, AI can do things like optimize resource allocation in the cloud, so things run more smoothly and efficiently. It can help personalize the user experience, like suggesting files or applications you might need. And of course, it plays a huge role in security.
So let's talk about that security angle. We hear a lot about AI being the future of cybersecurity. How is AI changing the game when it comes to protecting our data in the cloud?
Well, one of the biggest things is that AI can analyze massive amounts of data much faster and more effectively than humans can. So it can detect patterns and anomalies that might indicate a security threat.
Like what kind of pattern?
Like, imagine a hacker is trying to get into a system by trying different passwords. A human might not notice this if they're trying a bunch of different combinations, but AI can pick up on those patterns and flag them as suspicious.
So it's like having a million security guards looking at every little detail.
Yeah, exactly. AI is like having a whole army of security analysts working 24/7, constantly scanning for threats. And it never gets tired, it never gets bored.
That's amazing and kind of terrifying at the same time.
It is, yeah. And it's not just about reacting to threats. AI can also help us predict and prevent them.
That's what you were talking about before with predictive security, right?
Right. So imagine that AI can analyze data from past cyber attacks, like the SolarWinds attack a few years ago. It can look for patterns and figure out how those attacks happened. Then it can use that knowledge to identify potential vulnerabilities and predict future attacks before they even occur.
So it's like AI is a fortune teller, but for cyber threats.
Yeah, it's like having a crystal ball that can show you where the next attack might come from, so you can be ready for it.
So AI sounds like it's the ultimate weapon in the fight for cybersecurity. But you mentioned earlier that it's not that simple, that AI has its own vulnerabilities.
Yeah, that's the double-edged sword of AI. As powerful as it is, it also creates new challenges and risks.
Like what kind of risks are we talking about here?
Well, one of the biggest ones is that AI systems themselves can be attacked. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. AI models are basically complex algorithms, right? And those algorithms are built on data. So if an attacker can get access to that data, they can manipulate it or poison it to corrupt the AI.
Data poisoning. So it's like if you trained a guard dog but accidentally fed it poisoned treats, so now it's actually working against you.
Exactly. And it's not just about the data. Attackers could also try to exploit vulnerabilities in the AI model itself or in the software and hardware that the AI runs on.
So it's not just about protecting the data anymore, it's about protecting the AI that's protecting the data.
Right, exactly. It's a whole new level of complexity.
Okay, so given all that, what can we do? If AI is this powerful tool that can be used for good or for bad, how do we make sure it's used responsibly?
Well, that's where things like policy and compliance come in. We need to have clear guidelines and regulations for how AI is developed and used, especially in sensitive areas like cybersecurity. And AI can actually help us with that too. We're seeing more AI-powered tools that can analyze security policies and make sure organizations are following the rules. It can even help automate things like security audits, which can save a lot of time and effort.
So AI is helping to manage and govern itself, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like AI is becoming self-aware, but in a good way.
Okay, so for someone listening to all this, someone who might not be a tech expert, what's the key takeaway here?
I think the biggest thing is that AI is a powerful tool with the potential to revolutionize cybersecurity, but it's not a silver bullet. We can't just throw AI at the problem and expect everything to be fine. We need to be aware of the risks and challenges, and we need to approach AI development and deployment with caution and careful planning.
And maybe a little bit of healthy skepticism.
Definitely. We shouldn't be afraid of AI, but we should be aware of its limitations.
Yeah.
It's up to all of us to make sure that AI is used ethically and responsibly.
That's a great point to end on. We need to be having these conversations now before AI gets so advanced that we don't understand it anymore. So the next time you hear about AI and cloud security, remember that it's not just about making things safer, it's about a fundamental shift in how we think about and approach security in a world where AI is everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an exciting time to be in this field, that's for sure.
It really is.
Yeah.
So is AI going to be the ultimate shield that protects us in the digital world, or will it become the very weapon it was designed to defend against? That is the question we all need to be thinking about.
Definitely something to think about.
Thanks for joining me today. This has been a really insightful conversation.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.